Welcome to the Work Order Module training video series. These videos will cover the setup and use of the Rental Exchange Work Order Module. The first video will include this introduction and cover initial setup of the Work Order Module. The second video will show you how to configure maintenance items. And the third video will show you how to combine these items into groups. The final video of this series will show you the Rental Exchange Work Order Manager and how you can use it to quickly generate in-depth and detailed work orders. Before using the Rental Exchange Work Order module, you'll need to first adjust your default settings. To set up the Work Order module, sign into your account, select Management Company, and click on the Settings button inside the Work Orders panel. First, you'll need to enter your default labor charge rates. Enter in a default hourly or daily rate for the maintenance you perform. Then, enter a default mileage charge for the travel needed to complete the work. Please note that these are default charges and can be overridden in the Work Order Manager. Second, you'll need to adjust your low quantity warnings for maintenance items. Enter in a default low quantity amount. When a number of items in your inventory runs below this number, Cyrus will know to issue a warning. Again, this number is just a default and can be changed in the individual item basis. If you would like to receive an email whenever an item runs low in quantity, select this checkbox here and enter your email address in the field below. If you would like to receive a text message when your item runs low in quantity, check this box here and enter your cell phone number in the field below. Click the Save icon in the upper right-hand corner to save your changes, and you're ready to move on to entering items into the system. To add items to your Work Order Module inventory, go to Management Company, select items from the Work Order panel. To the left of the screen, you'll find your current list of maintenance items and the quantity of each item. To update your current inventory, simply enter the number of items you would like to add and click the plus icon. To add a new item, click the Add Item button at the bottom of the screen. Enter a name for this item and the initial quantity. Finally, click the OK button to add it to the list. You can then enter a code for this item, as well as a description. Finally, enter a purchase price for the item, and the price you would like to charge the owner. If there is a difference between the prices, your markup will show over here to the right. Once the details for the item have been entered, you'll also have the option to upload an image for the item. This feature is handy if the work order requires an aesthetic part of a specific style or color. On the Notifications tab, you can overwrite the default low quantity warning settings. Click the Save icon in the upper right to save your changes, and you are now ready to create item groups. For regularly scheduled maintenance of your homes, you may use some parts more frequently than others. These parts can be grouped ahead of time to make creating work orders easier. To review your grouped items, go to Management Company and select Groups from the Work Orders panel. To the left, you will find your current list of groups. Selecting a group will display the group description, the items in the group, and the quantity of each item. To create a new group, click the Add Group button at the bottom of the screen. Enter a name for the group and click OK. With the new group selected, you can enter a description for the group. The table on the right will have your complete list of items. Select an item you'd like to add to the group, click Add. You will then be prompted to enter a quantity of that item you would like to add. Finally, click OK to add the item to the group. Once all of the items have been added, click the Save icon in the upper right-hand corner to save your changes. You have now successfully created a group and are now ready to create work orders. To find the Rental Exchange Work Order Manager, go to Management Company and select Work Orders from the Work Order panel. Below, you will find tables for both whole work orders and work order tasks. Above, you will find filter options that will help you sort and organize your work orders and tasks. The progress filter will let you choose which work orders to display based on their level of completion, whether the work order has not been started, is in progress, is complete, or incomplete. The date filter will allow you to determine a date range as a way to filter work orders. You can choose to filter by the date that the work order was added, the work order start date, the work order end date, or a combination of both the start date or the end date. Then, you can choose to show work orders from either all properties or the selected property currently selected from the property chooser. Finally, click the refresh button to apply your filters. To show you how to use the work order module, I'll create a new work order from start to finish and narrate all my steps. First, I'm going to click Add Work Order at the bottom of the screen. For this work order, I'm going to start fresh with a new work order and not one from a template. I'll give this work order a title that best suits the work being completed. For this work order, we're going to be updating the dish and silverware inside the kitchen of the home. I'll go ahead and click Add to add it to the list and open up the editor. Underneath the Overview tab, we'll have the option to update our work order. The MC Comments tab will just be any comments you as a management company feel you'd like to add. The items will show all of the items for the work order, and the files will show all of the files attached to the work order. But let's go back to the Overview tab. In the Overview, we'll have the main work order description. This should be in regards to what the work is about. We'll have the property we are currently selected, although let's say we want to do it for a different property instead. We can override that if we want. You'll also have an owner account category from your list of owner account categories. For this, I'll just leave it for the default as maintenance. Then you'll be able to assign this work order to a specific individual. Let's say John Miller is our work order staff, and he's going to be the one replacing the dishware. Down here, you'll have the tasks. Each work order is made up of individual tasks, and each individual task can be billed to the owner. But let's get to that later. Each work order must have at least one task. This will be the initial one. To keep the work order simple, I'm just going to make updates for this one. I'll go ahead and copy the description from the other one, and I'll have a start and an end date. So let's say I want this done next week. This work order is pretty basic, so they shouldn't need more than a day. Now for each task, you can also assign it to an individual, but for now I'm going to leave it as the default John Miller. And for each task, you'll have a progress, but you'll only want to start entering a new progress percentage once the work order has been set up. Selecting time, mileage, and costs will be able to update the pricing or the cost of the labor being completed. Let's assume John Miller drove 6 miles to get to the home, and it took him about an hour to complete the work. I'll go ahead and click refresh to update the labor charge. Now we can use the automatic, which adds all of these columns together, or if need be, you can manually enter a charge. Let's say for this work, I'm just going to charge $50 for the labor. And click refresh to show the changes. Each work order task will also have certain items required to complete the task. To add a new item, click Add Items. You can either select from your group of items or from the individual items themselves. To simplify the process, I'm going to select one of our groups. Select one plate set by entering 1 in the quantity column, and one silverware set, again, entering 1. I'll go ahead and click Add Selected to add all of those items to my list. The prices of each item will also show up in these columns here, and the price will automatically total up at the bottom. This will be included in the total work order price and will also get charged to the owner in addition to the labor costs. Finally, you'll have task files. For this particular task, I won't really need to upload a file. But let's say it was a work order that required a warranty card or some other document. You could scan that document and add the file here. Cyrus will then open up your file viewer on your computer where you'll be able to select the file you want to upload and click Open. The file will be saved in our database for safekeeping. Once completed, go ahead and click Save to save all of your changes. If I go back to View All Items, we'll see the total items for all the tasks in the work order, and the same for the files. But now that my work order has been completed, I can go ahead and update the progress of it. For this work order, I'm going to go ahead and enter in 100% and click Refresh. When a work order has been set to 100%, it'll be ready to charge the owner account. Once the work order is saved and completed, we're ready to charge it to the owner account. Do so, click the Tasks tab, where you see all of the tasks from all of your work orders. Selecting individual tasks to charge the owner can be a bit of a pain, but to make this process easier, we have the Select All feature, which will select all of the tasks that are 100% complete and have not yet been charged to the owner account. Once selected, go ahead and select Owner Account, and then select the date that you want to post to. For this instance, I'm going to manually override the date and put it on next month's statement when the work will be completed. Finally, click Charge to charge the task to the owner account. And you've completed a work order and charged your owners.